Howard Griffith, who was on the bus tour along with Dave Revson and Jerry DiNardo. Their stop was in Columbus today, where you were. Yeah. And Howard, we appreciate you taking a few minutes to join us.
Now, Matt, Howard gets to actually ride on the bus.
Yes.
I just was able to walk on it briefly today.
You took some snacks with you when you left.
I did.
How comfortable is your bus, Howard?
Oh, it's very comfortable. I have a great recliner that I can kind of swivel around, have a little table that I can work on or keep my face at. So I got a good spot on the bus.
All right. Stan has made the comment that if you didn't know that there was something going on with Ohio State football and Urban Meyer wasn't there and you just were dropped in from Mars and watched the football practice today, that you wouldn't have noticed any different. What was your impression? Is that your take as well?
Yeah, it really is. I think, there's a lot of energy out there. Guys are flying around. It's always a good practice when you come and see them. They're always flying around. You don't see guys falling all over the ground and that sort of thing. It's crisp practice. They get a lot done. It's a tough practice. And, that Urban, I'm always listening for Urban at the beginning of the practice as he gives out orders to the players and also as he's instructing the coaches to make sure you get your groups in order today to make sure they get all their reps. But outside of some of that, you would not have known. And I think a lot of that is part of, these practices have been scripted. Just didn't happen this morning. It's probably been done, months ago, what they were going to do. So I think all the coaches are very comfortable where they are right now as far as camp is concerned.
So, Howard, as we noted today, obviously Ohio State has to move on from J.T. Barrett. What did you notice out there from the quarterback position and the offense in general and the absence of J.T.?
I've always been a big Haskins fan. Even going back to his 707 days while he was still in high school, had a chance to see him on the circuit there. And he's always had a strong arm that has obviously gotten better since he's had a chance to be in the strength and conditioning program. But to me, it's going to be one of those offenses where they're going to be able to throw the ball down the field, I think, more effectively. You can make the argument, and I know Stan, you probably agree with me, that this offense probably from a passing standpoint is going to be much better than it's been probably over the last 4 or 5 years. So they're going to have a chance to attack down the field with multiple formations and multiple weapons, whether it's the H-back, the wide receivers, or even the tight ends getting involved in the offense.
Visiting with Howard Griffith with the Big Ten Network bus tour. They had the opportunity to check out the Ohio State practice today. Stan was there as well. Howard, I want to ask you from a player's perspective, going back into your playing days, with everything that's going on, do you think distraction-wise, what's going on with Urban Meyer and this decision, can that be a factor with this team, or are players so programmed, and you mentioned the practice today, you wouldn't have known that Urban Meyer wasn't there. Are they so programmed that really, in your mind, won't be that big of a deal for this Ohio State football team?
Right now. And I say right now because they're in camp mode. When you start when they shift from camp mode to starting preparing for their first opponent, if Urban is not there at that time, I think you probably start to see that effect. At the end of the day, the players want to get out there and continue to compete, hold on to their jobs, or try to move up the depth chart. That's what they want to be able to do during this time in camp. I'm sure they discuss things when they get on their phones and they're texting back and forth with family members and friends, or they're in the locker room. They're talking about all the things that are surrounding the program. But I think once they walk across that line onto the practice field, they're pretty much dialed in to what they need to do, to be players and to hold on to their positions or obviously move up the depth chart.
When you go around from campus to campus and do this every year, when you get to an Ohio State, what's the first thing you notice that's different? Do they just, without even watching them take a snap in practice, do you notice a difference right away?
Absolutely. And it's been that way since I've been coming here. The linemen, whether it's offense and defense, are bigger than mostly everywhere else you go. I mean, they're huge. The speed, the tempo of the practice is probably faster than anywhere else we go visit. There are a lot of teams that get stuff done, get a lot of things done, and practices are a little differently. But it's just the energy and the intensity, are at a different level when we're here in Columbus.
Now, Howard, I know you've only been to Indiana so far. The bus tour is just starting, but talk big picture about the conference right now. How good is the Big Ten, and how is the Big Ten East maybe one of the best divisions there's ever been?
Yeah, I think you have to absolutely consider it as being one of the top conferences, in all of college football. When you look at what you have with Ohio State from a talent standpoint, coaching, you look at Michigan State this year, returning 19 returning starters, a established quarterback that can really create and make plays. In Brian Lewerke, I think that's huge to have a quarterback like that. You go to Penn State, McSorley, you know just how good he is. Obviously, they're going to be a little different this year without Saquon Barkley, but I expect them to be able to run the ball a lot better than they have in years past because that line is back. I think they're going to be an offense that's going to run the ball more. I think they want to get Barkley more out in space and try to be explosive, but they couldn't run it when they needed to. So I think Michigan, Michigan's always going to be there. They've got talent. They just got to figure out how to get over the hump. And, the Marylands and the Rutgers and the Indianas, they're getting better. But, I think there's still, quite a bit of separation from those top four programs to the other three that are in the conference.
Howard, I know you're just getting started on your bus tour, but Wisconsin in the West, is there anybody in the West that, as you start making your way around the campuses, but is there anybody on paper as you look around the West that can challenge Wisconsin?
It looks tough, even if you look at it just from an offensive standpoint, returning all their offensive linemen, Jonathan Taylor, Alex Hornibrook at quarterback. Probably this is going to be our first 12th year on this tour. Probably the most dynamic they've been at the wide receiver position. Some young guys, but still they can go get the ball downfield. Then you look on the defensive side, they've had coordinators. They've changed coordinators 3 of the last 4 years. Jim Leonard, this will be his second year, but it seems that they just continue to reload, even though you've never heard of some of the guys that are playing on the D-line or playing some linebacker positions or in the secondary. They find a way to pressure you and put you in tough positions. So I think before I thought the Badgers really could compete against Ohio State. They don't have the talent. I'm not trying to compare from a talent standpoint, but the way they play the game, to me, gives them an opportunity to really run with a team like Ohio State. Now, you still have to get in the game and play it, but I think they're the closest to being to a team that really can compete, and really it would be, I think, an outstanding game if they got involved in it. But Northwestern is there, but you don't know what's going to happen with Clayton Thorson. How healthy he's going to be. He's on schedule to be back. They think he's going to start the opener. But then after that, you just kind of have to see. I think Purdue's probably going to take a little bit of a step back. But I think Coach Braum has done a great job of putting that team in position to compete each and every week.
Last thing, do you have to make a prediction on the East? Do you have to wait and see what happens with this Urban Meyer thing?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut you off real quick. Yeah, absolutely. I think you have to wait. There's some people that will say, with all the talent, you say things aren't different in camp as they are usually when you see them. Yeah, they weren't today. But if you talk about being a game situation, if you talk about being able to press all the right buttons, not only of your coaches, but also your players, I still would have some concerns. Where before, no doubt in my mind, I think Ohio State is right there, and they've got all the tools to go ahead and win it and be the favorites. But without Urban, I think you do have to take a step back and say, okay, you got to wait and see, what's happening, obviously, with Michigan State, because I think they could be a team that's right there. Penn State may take a step back, and you don't know what type of quarterback play Michigan's going to get out of who we presume is going to be the starter, Shea Patterson. We don't know what that offense is going to look like.
Real quick, Howard, because we're on a hard break.
Yep.
How exciting? It's more of a personal question. How exciting is it to now have a son playing major college football?
Man, it's exciting, but it's nerve-wracking. I don't know. I haven't been able to watch him. I watch him in high school, but I'm still nervous as I don't know what. I'm sitting there on my hands. My wife is screaming in my ear. She's excited, but I'm as nervous as it can be. So it's going to be fun to watch him. I'm glad he's having the opportunity to chase his dreams at Notre Dame and get it done on and off the field. But we'll just have to see. I'll probably be hanging out in the concourse looking over people's shoulders to see what's happening on defense.
Do you still hold the NCAA record for touchdowns in a game?
I do. It's a long time ago too.
Who are you playing when you scored 8 touchdowns?
Hey, that's not important. That's not important. Because it sounds like you're asking me that question and you just go, oh, he's just playing those guys. So I'm not going to tell you.
Okay. We will research it. That's right. Hey, Howard, we appreciate it. Good luck on the bus tour, and we appreciate you taking a few minutes for us.
Hey, anytime, guys. Take care and enjoy the rest of the day.